Hello my beautiful friends. So today is the 31st of December. I said that so weird. Today's the 31st of December and New Year's Eve, not Christmas Eve. First things first, I want to say is that I have my beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, I'll do like a close-up or a picture or something of this shirt because I absolutely love it. It is my melanin shirt. I actually just got it in the mail. Luna and I have matching ones. I got it from Legendary Roots. I'll put the link to it down below. You should definitely check out their website. They have a lot of really amazing, just like black greatness things. And so yeah, I would love it if you would go and support them. This isn't sponsored or anything, but you know, if you want to send anything my way, I am open to anything. But today I want to go ahead and film my top 21 books that I want to read in 2021, including some honorable mentions because I can't control myself. I'm probably not going to describe them very much because one, I may not really know what they're about, and two, ain't nobody got time for that. So the first book that I have on my list is probably the heftiest one that I have on my list, and it's very daunting to think about reading it, but I know that I really want to, is Anna Karenina. One of my goals for 2021, one of the many goals, but specifically my reading goal, is to read more classics, and Anna Karenina has just been calling out my name for a little while. I'm gonna buy it because I tend to buy classics just so I can have them, depending on what they are. But yeah, I'm scared, but I will read it. I may do a vlog, but that may take like a month. So one of the reasons why I wanted to read Anna Karenina is just like, I'm really interested in the story. And also in 2020, I read Anna K, which is a retelling of Anna Karenina, like a modern YA retelling of it. And that was really good. So it made me want to read the real version. Also, I guess to go along with the next one, since I'm already talking about it, the second book in the series, the Anna K series, I guess, I don't actually know what it's called. It's supposed to be coming out in 2021, which I really hope that it does because the last book just ended on a note that just made me want to continue. I was not satisfied, and so hopefully, I don't think I'll be satisfied by the next one, but I'll be satisfied because I'm reading it, not because it's like wrapped up and ended, you know, because I think it's supposed to be an ongoing series, but you know. Those are two books out of the way. Let's get on to the next. Math, 19, right? So the next book is Legendborn. I don't actually know what this is about, but I've seen this cover and it looks absolutely fucking beautiful. And I've also heard many people talking about it. Oh, I remember now. It's a magic school. It's a girl who goes to a magic school, and then also, no, it's not a magic school. It's a girl who goes to like some kind of school, and then she realized that there's like this secret club that's actually descendants from like Arthur, King Arthur, and all that shit, Merlin, all that. Wow, I'm really great at describing things. But I love that shit. I've always loved that shit. I actually need to rewatch Merlin because I never finished it. I'm excited to read this kind of retelling, reimagining version of it with the melanin involved because that always makes things more magical. So I'm excited about that. The next book is The Bluest Eye. I believe this is by Toni Morrison, I believe. It's by the same author who did, I was gonna say Blue is the Warmest Color. That is not the same thing. But I believe it's the same author that did Beloved. I really want to read all of this author's books because I've heard that they're absolutely amazing, but this one specifically I heard a couple people talk about, and it sounded really interesting. And so, yeah, I just kind of put this on the list as like the representation of this author's books that I want to read. I most likely will read this one first, and then I'll move on to the other ones. The next book is She-Wolves. So it's basically about all these women who are like, what are the heirs to the Tudor throne? I don't actually know. But the Tudor time period of history, I love that shit. Like that, I don't know why, but like that's always what I gravitate to whenever I'm watching like shows and stuff. And I love it. Another show that I need to finish is The Tudors. It's an old show, so it's kind of trash. and the costumes and stuff is not historically accurate, which kind of drives me crazy, but it's fine. I'll get there. I feel like I just need to watch it until what's her name gets on it. What's her name? Margarine? You know, she was on Game of Thrones. She's hot. So I'm like, just get to that point and then I can, you know, keep going. All this being said, this book grabbed my attention. The next book, I'm probably gonna say this book and then I'm going to run away because I have to start work. Veganism of Color. I actually heard someone that I follow on Instagram, she was talking about this book or a book by the same author. But I just went ahead and put this one on my list because I thought this would be really interesting to read about. I am a vegan, have been for, wow, 3 years, I think? 3 years in January? 2 years? 3 years? I don't actually remember, but it's been a while. It hasn't necessarily been something that I've done as much. I've definitely been focused on like the environmental aspect and, you know, moral, ethical aspect, but I feel like ethics is involved with, you know, how it affects different demographics throughout the world, throughout America. So that's going to be something that I'm very interested in reading, and I feel like it's going to be very beneficial to me. I'm gonna take a break right now so I can go to work, and I'll see you guys later. Alright, so let us try to continue this. Hopefully the lighting isn't too different or too crazy because I literally just spent 4 hours working and now I'm here. But to you, no time has passed. So let's go ahead and get into this because I really want to eat dinner. The next book that I wanted to talk about that I'm excited about reading in 2021 is called The Tao of Pooh. That sounds like a very interesting book, and it isn't a very interesting book. It's basically about, I'm not really sure. Looking at basically the relationships and the personalities and the kind of metaphors and symbolism in Winnie the Pooh. And I personally really love Winnie the Pooh. I've always really enjoyed Winnie the Pooh. And so I heard one of my other favorite YouTubers, her name is also Allie. Hi, if you're watching this. She was talking about how good this book was, and I was like, yeah. Yep, that's definitely gonna be one that I'm gonna have to read. So the next book that I wanna read is called The Body Keeps Score, and if I am remembering correctly, I believe that this book is mainly focused on trauma and like how we deal with trauma, how trauma is processed in our bodies, how we experience trauma, and that's something that has been, it's been an experience that I've been consciously and subconsciously kind of processing through for, I feel like it's been really heavy this past year, but for the past few years, but I feel like this year I've been processing a lot of things that I wasn't really aware of before, that were traumatic events, and just beginning to understand how those experiences have related to the way that I am now and the way that I process certain things right now, and the positive things that I've gotten from those experiences and the not so positive things that I want to shift from, you know, learning more deeply about myself and those experiences. There's a lot of layers to trauma. There's a lot of layers to dealing with trauma and processing it and talking about it. And one huge thing that I have just really had to reiterate with myself with a lot of my healing just in general is that trauma is trauma to you, and it's a very personal experience. You don't have to have some kind of drastic, seemingly huge moment in your life in order to say that it is a traumatic experience, or for your body to be able to feel like it's a traumatic experience. I feel like the first time I really thought about trauma in this way was related to my birthing experience, and maybe I'll make a video kind of talking a little bit more about it. But yeah, because if you look at my birth story on the outside, and like even the way that I was sharing it afterwards, because I've looked at my videos recently, just during that time, like it doesn't seem like it was a traumatic experience. Whether I felt like it was valid or not, it doesn't matter, and the body does truly keep score. And so I'm just really excited to read it. The next book is going to be the second book in the, I forget what it's called, but it's called the Obelisk Gate. And it is the second book after the 5th season. The 5th season was on my list of my top favorite books of 2020. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll put the link to it on the screen somewhere. But Luna's panning her xylophone. It'll probably be one of my top favorite books for my life because it was just so good. It had like everything that I ever could have wanted in a book, and it was so beautifully written, and I can't wait to continue on with the journey of reading the next book in the series. The next book that I have here, I don't really know too much about it, but the cover is so fucking cute. It is called, and I'm probably pronouncing this incorrectly, but it's Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating. I believe it's about some girls who decide to fake date and then maybe they end up like actually dating. I don't know, it sounds super cute, and I feel like it's just gonna be one of those stories that makes me feel good inside. One of my goals for 2021 is to read more queer books and more sapphic books and more just like LGBTQ plus A books in general, because that'll just make me really happy inside. So I'm excited to read that one. I might have to buy it because it's really fucking cute. The next book is another sequel to one of my favorite series of 2020, and that is The Dragon Republic, which is the sequel to The Poppy Wars. I talked about The Poppy War in my favorite books of 2020, so again, plugging in my video. If you want to check that out, I'll put the link to it on the screen. I'm just really excited to get into the next book. I have heard from so many people that it's like really deep in the war that's going on in this world, and so I'm interested to see how the author approaches that, because it takes a lot for me to be interested in like wars and read about it and not like skim over the entire thing. So the section of the last book that was very like talking about war and stuff managed to keep my attention, but it was like a third of the book, so we'll see how the next one goes. But I'm excited to see where Rin goes on her journey next, and apparently she makes some bad decisions, so we're here for it. So the next book is The Haunting of Hill House. I'm not sure who this is by, but I'll have down below all of the authors and all of the book titles that I mentioned in this video. But this is, I believe, a like gothic thriller. Actually just recently finished reading Turn of the Screw by Henry James, and I believe it's the same, like, I think they're both in Bly Manor. I don't actually know. But they're somehow connected in some way. So I read Turn of the Screw. I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts on that in my December wrap-up video that I haven't filmed yet. I will do that. But it intrigued me enough to want to read a little bit more about something that's kind of connected to it. So I want to read Haunting of Hill House. I want to read more like scary-ish books. I don't think I'm gonna delve into horror probably ever, because I am a baby. Like, thrillers are pretty much the farthest I will get. And I'm fine with that. This wasn't on my list of my top 10 favorites from 2020, but it definitely was up there when it comes to the books that I really enjoyed this year, and it is Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. And so that made me want to read some more books by her. And the other book that I want to read is Monday's Not Coming. I heard so many really good things about it. I don't really know what the plot is about, to be perfectly honest. I think there's like a character whose friend ends up disappearing or something like that. I'm not actually sure, but I'm excited to read it. I heard that it was a really good book and very hard-hitting and talking about subjects that are very important, and that's really what I got from her book Grown as well, so I'm excited to read more from this author. The next book is called We Need to Talk About Kevin, and one of the main reasons why I want to read this is because I actually want to watch the movie, because I've heard the movie is really good. And I don't remember where or who I heard talking about this book, but I heard someone talking about this book and they were saying that it was a really good book. I don't know what kind of book it is. I thought that it was like, I don't know, a coming of age story. I think it's about like a teenager who is like I don't know. I don't know exactly. I don't want to make any assumptions, but I believe it's about like a mother-son relationship, and they're kind of experiencing turmoil, and yeah, I want to read it. I feel like I might be traumatized after I read it, but gonna do it anyway. All right, so the next one is another hefty classic on my list, and I'm also very nervous about reading this, but I've heard so many good things about it from multiple people, and it is The Phantom of the Opera. I have loved The Phantom of the Opera since, I don't even know, like as long as I can remember. I believe when I was like 10 or so, I saw the movie and I absolutely fell in love with it, mostly because I was just in love with Christine because she's fucking beautiful. Amy Ross, I'm like, how did I think I was straight? I don't know. I memorized like every song from the movie. I used to listen to the soundtrack. I still listen to the soundtrack. My child thinks I'm crazy because I'm like know every word and I act it out. It's very therapeutic actually, but I figured that I should probably actually read the novel that it comes from. Is it a novel or is it a play? I don't know, but I'm going to read it. I'm very excited. I'm also very nervous, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna tackle it. It's probably gonna take me a month, just like Anna Karenina, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. Next book is called Daughters of Jubilation. Again, I'm not really sure what this is about. I believe it's like a girl discovering that she's magical or something like that. I really like fantasy. I really like stuff where people find out that they have magic and stuff like that. So I'm excited to read this. Also, the cover is fucking beautiful. The next book is Jade City. This is again on like everybody's list of the greatest hits of 2020, and books that a lot of people just really enjoy, and series that a lot of people really enjoy. And the cover just reminds me of The Wizard of Oz for some reason. Does anybody else get that vibe? Is it just like the green and like black, I think? It's a beautiful, beautiful cover. I don't really know what this is about either, but I'm gonna read it, and I heard that it was really good. The next book is called The Only Good Indians. Again, this is a book that I don't know anything about, but I've heard Books and Lala, I believe. I heard her talking about it in one of her videos, actually a couple of her videos, and just like raving about it and saying that it was like her favorite, well, not saying that it was her favorite book of the year, but saying that it was like the best writing and the best characters and stuff like that, and it just really made me excited about it and want to read it, and I've had it on my list for a while, so I feel like it will be a very good story. I don't know what kind of story it is, but I'm excited to read it. The next book is The Shadow King. Again, I do not remember what this is about. It's like set in Africa and someone is gonna be king. Okay. I just made that up. Yeah, I want to read that book. I don't remember what it's about, but it's fine. It's cool. We're good. We're good. The next book is The Wicker King. Again, don't remember what this is about. Apparently I want to read books that are like the blank king. I feel like I've just had this on my list for so long, and again, I've heard so many people talking about how good it is, that I just have to read it. Okay, A Song of Wraiths and Ruin is the next book on my list, and man, I've heard so many amazing things about it. I believe it's about a brother and sister, and I think the sister ends up getting kidnapped or something like that. I think there's magic. I don't know, but there's a lot of really good things in this story that I've heard like incredible things about, and the cover is absolutely beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of these I picked because the covers caught my eye, even though I don't buy books. I don't buy books, but it's pleasing to read a book by its cover. Okay, I'm lame. I'm like delirious. So if you guys stuck around till this part of the video, I am going to throw in some honorable mentions, more like categories of things that I want to read in 2021. Like I said, I want to read more queer books. I want to read definitely more books by people of color, indigenous authors, And yeah, I also want to read more manga because I've never really dove into that world. I feel like manga is gonna be a very slippery slope for me to go down because I'm probably gonna have to buy certain ones if I can't like find them on my library app. And like, I'm not even mad about that because they're so pretty. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys posted. An author that I'd like to read is Haruki Murakami. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Again, I've heard really good things about this author and all of the different things that he writes. I've heard that he has a very like distinct writing style, and so I feel like it will be just really interesting and helpful to my overall intelligence. I have the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and then I also have The Hobbit. So I want to read all of these books next year, and I'm very excited. I read The Hobbit a long time ago, but I've never actually read the entire series. Lord of the Rings was again something that I was really obsessed with growing up. I had a poster of Legolas on my door to my bedroom, and I used to kiss it all the time. Got some Shakespeare Shakespeare plays, and I have been very intimidated with reading his plays, but I want to. Again, I feel like it will just help me be a more well-rounded reader, and I feel like I'll just really enjoy it. And I feel like it'll also just make me feel smart, even though I probably won't understand most of it, but it's fine, because I'm fine with not understanding things, you know? The last person that I want to read more books from is Jane Austen. I think I've read maybe like 2 books by her very, 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 very long time ago. But I would like to get through all of the books that she's written because I'm extra. We'll see if that happens. But again, like I said, I'm just trying to, you know, get some more classics. Get some more classics in my life and be an adult, basically. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any books or genres that you are really interested in reading in 2020. And that's pretty much it.